Everyone, it's Gina from Gina K Designs, and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live. Today, we are going to have a little bit of fun with some masking magic and stencils. I'd like to welcome everybody here from all over the United States and all over the world. We were reading all of your comments before we went live to see how many of you are coming in from all over the world. It's pretty cool that we all can get together for a crafternoon, or for some of you, it's an evening of crafting. So like I said, today I'm going to use some masking magic, and I'm going to be using a stencil to create a lattice pattern. And the stencil just steps up the pattern a little bit. Also, I'm going to be using my score buddy. I think I put that away already. I'll have to grab it to continue the lattice pattern, to do a little accent piece. So it's all lattice today. That's what we're working on. Plus, I thought I would break out these stencils. Remember these? These are the butterfly stencils. What was this called? Fluttering fall? Fluttering something. Oh my gosh, I should know the name of this, but it is a stencil bundle. So if you go onto our website and you type in stencil bundles, we have 3, and this is one of them that will come up. It's the butterflies. So if anybody knows the name of it, please chime in so that we know too. I'm so bad at names. So now one thing that I thought I would do today is I would show you how I cut the masking magic, but then I thought I would use super skinny washi tape instead of masking magic, just so you guys could actually see how I apply it to the card, because it's really hard to see the white on white, and I want to make sure that you're able to see it as well. Not lettuce, thankful grandma, lattice. I did have lettuce last night though. I'm back to eating healthy again, so we're all good. Welcome, welcome. It's great to see all of you. All right, so let's flip around here. Oh, first, before we do that, I want to say hi to Tom.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. I too was looking forward to the stenciled lettuce background. Sounded very crunchy.
Sounded like a good lunch.
Yeah.
So has anybody figured out what the name of this bundle is? Do you know the name of this bundle, Tom?
Fluttering something.
Okay.
Right?
It is. It's fluttering something, definitely. All right. Well, it's great to see you. Do you have any words of wisdom today, or no? You just putting you on the spot.
No, nothing today.
Fluttering fall. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. No words of wisdom. You're just over there living in the dead space.
Yeah, I'm working the dead space here. I didn't know you had wisdom needs this morning. I would have worked on something.
Well, maybe for Monday night you can come up with some words of wisdom, and we can add that as a new part of the Stampin' Chat Live.
Okay. Wisdom
by Tom.
Yeah.
Pearls of wisdom. I can only imagine.
What direction you going here?
Oh, okay.
Tom needs a microphone. What's wrong? My microphone's not working.
Oh, really?
Testing 1, 2.
You guys can't hear Tom?
It should work, yeah. You got it way up here.
Okay.
All right, well.
Oh, and Elise said she loved your music that you put up on YouTube, Tom.
Oh, good, yeah. That's pretty cool, pretty relaxing stuff, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are actual vacation trips.
Oh, the video, yeah, it's great. Okay, so Fern said she can hear you just fine. Alex said so.
Okay.
So I think you're good. We got a lot of yays.
All right.
So and also I see Kathy Z is here. Hey Kathy, how are you? Good to see you. Kathy said your voice is like a button. Good. What do you mean, Cap?
I'll take that. Right on the
Okay.
button.
Well, let's get on with it here. So the first thing I want to show you is this is a piece of cardstock that I cut to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more, and I'm going to try not to turn around too much. In fact, let me turn around right now and grab my score, buddy, so then I don't have to turn around again. Okay, so normally what I would do, you can see I cut all of these little pieces of Masking Magic. The thing I love about Masking Magic is it's reusable. So you can place these on your cardstock, peel them off, and then what I tend to do is just stick them to the back of a stamp pocket, maybe something that I use a lot, or the stencil, wherever I put this stencil set. If I want to do this one again, I can just stick them to the back of that and reuse them. And as long as you're using the same colors, you shouldn't have any transfer of ink or any problems with it. So I like using the Masking Magic for that. Now I'm going to show you how I cut the Masking Magic. I just took a full sheet of Masking Magic, and these are 1/8 inch strips. So they're super skinny. And that can be a little bit tricky to cut. So what I like to do is I like to first cut it down to the first 1/8. So I don't start at 5 inches. I start at 4 7/8 of an inch. And then I get rid of that one because it's not always a perfect 5 inch across. So I want to get rid of this one, or I'll keep it for a little strip of something that I want to do later. And then I just go down by 1/8 inch increments. So I just move the Masking Magic down and cut, then move it down again and cut. And you can see I'm just like collecting all of these pieces that way. So that's one way to get as even as possible little strips of Masking Magic. Now, to avoid you not being able to see, because if I put this Masking Magic on here, we had this the other day. I taped it on there. It was very difficult for you to see, especially when I take the backing off. Let me show you. So I'm going to pull the backing off of this. I did trim my nails down. So what I would do is use Masking Magic and start at one corner and then bring it down to the opposite corner. Get that top corner down to the opposite corner like that, and then press that down. I don't know. Can you see that okay? Maybe you can. Yeah, they can?
Yes, but Beverly wants to know, what is Masking Magic? So
Masking Magic, in my humble opinion, is the best masking paper that you can buy. It is by ThermoWeb. ThermoWeb created this for me, and this is the Gina K Designs brand that's created by ThermoWeb. And it doesn't tear your paper. So you can stick this down and you can do ink blending techniques. You can do all kinds of different techniques using the Masking Magic. And then you can peel it up and it doesn't tear the paper, doesn't leave any residue behind, and it's reusable. So it's great when you want to mask off parts of your design. Maybe you want to put a little animal inside a wagon. So you want to stamp the wagon first, and then you want to mask off the wagon and stamp the animal on top. And where the wagon is masked off, the animal won't stamp and it'll look like he's sitting in the wagon. So, it's great for things like that. So maybe I don't have to use this washi tape because I really don't want to. So I'm just going to continue to put little strips of Masking Magic down. And some of them might be a little skinnier than others, but in the big picture, it's not going to matter. I'm glad you can see it. And I guess it's good that it's going like off the paper too. That helps quite a bit. So they're just a little difficult to peel, and that's my fault because I wasn't thinking about that when I cut it in the direction I cut it, but I needed to cut it this way because I need them long enough. So you can see I'm evenly spacing them just by eyeballing it, not rocket science. Okay. Well, I'm glad you got some. Yeah, we sell thousands and thousands of Masking Magic every month. It's hard for us to keep it in stock because everybody loves it. It is so worth it. I can't even begin to tell you how worth it is to try some. you won't want to go back to things like washi tape and Post-it notes and stuff, unless for certain techniques, but you know what I'm saying. It's really good stuff. And you can stamp designs on it. It's stampable, and the designs don't smear or run. So you could stamp a flower on there and then fussy cut it, and then you can mask flower designs together. Now, I obviously don't need all these big pieces, so I could start tearing this in half now. Maybe I will, because I don't need all of these. So if you're just joining us, welcome. We're doing a little masking lattice work today. This is the longest part of this process. And then once you peel all of these off and you save this masking magic, it's real quick, because you just grab it off your acetate and reuse it. So, but I love this, and it's real easy to eyeball. Hopefully you can see the spacing that I'm doing here. It looks pretty good. I think we don't have the camera quite as bright, and I think you can see everything really well. So thank you, Tom, for coming back around and changing that exposure. It was very bright earlier.
Sometimes I leave the dead space.
Sometimes you do. Oh my goodness. So just a couple more. And then we're going to be doing some layering stenciling using that Fluttering Fall Layering Stencil Bundle, which is, I think what I'll do here is I'll put this one here like this. And then I'm going to tear it and put this one up here. My sweater is shedding. You know, it's always something. First I'm shedding, now my sweater is shedding. So do you think I need one more little one up here? Probably. I'll do it just to be safe. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spread these out a little bit more, because I think these are a little closer together. So now you can see how it does not tear the paper, and you can move it around. I'll spread these out just a hair more. You can see what I mean. Once they're all peeled, they're super easy to move around. Okay, so now we've got them going this way. And welcome, everyone. I see lots of you coming in today. Great to see you. I'm going to just make it easy. I'm going to turn this a quarter turn, because it's all stuck down onto my scrap paper here. Boy, it's cold here today. The snow is blowing. I wonder how it is in other parts of the world today. How are you guys doing with your weather? Now you can see I'm crisscrossing the other way to create my lattice pattern.
Gina's a big fan of the snow.
Right? No, I am not. I don't know why I live in Wisconsin. In the summer I do. It's beautiful here in the summer, but I always think in the summer, it's not that bad, right? Because it's summer and it's beautiful. And then the winter comes, and then I ask myself, why am I not in Florida right now? But I did see somebody's comment earlier said that it's too hot in Florida. Is that a thing? Too hot? I don't know. We kind of like the hot weather. So you can see, no, I'm not going to trim this down, actually. I'm not going to trim it at all. I'm going to leave these ends just like they are. I'm just getting my nice lattice pattern. This is actually very relaxing to do, and this is one of those great things to do if you don't have any mojo and you just want to play with backgrounds. So yeah, it is a lot of work, but once you peel all of these, I could make a second one in just a few minutes, because they're so easy once they're peeled. It's the peeling that takes forever. So,
sure you don't need any lettuce?
I'm good. I don't need any lettuce.
I've got some kale in the other room.
Oh my gosh. So the other night, Tom was making a salad, and did you even know what you were making? Because it was kale, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had some kale in there.
It was very chewy.
Yeah. That was a good 3-hour salad.
Salad, I love salad, but like when you order a salad, it's a commitment, right? You're committed. You're going to be working. It's not like French fries don't seem like quite the same kind of commitment as eating a salad to me.
Or Julia said, how about a fruit salad?
Fruit salad is not a commitment at all. That is super easy going down. And the more fruit you put on the toothpick, the healthier it is. Love my fruit salad. I have one tonight. Okay. I know this seems like a lot of work. Hang in there with me. It's really not that bad. And like I said, once you cut all these, you can reuse them, and they're very easy to just slap on there real quickly. Put that one there. All right, one more. One more I'm going to peel. This is the longest part of this card. Then we're going to crank through. This part of this card is longer than my 5-minute videos. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys, are you enjoying the 5-minute videos? Do you want me to keep going with that series? I know a lot of you don't always have as much time for this live stuff, although we love interacting with you. But if you like the 5-minute videos, I'm going to keep doing them. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I've got my lattice pattern on here. Okay. There we go. Now, let me throw away all this trash, because again, you know what my tabletop looks like. It is just a disaster all the time. And I forgot to clean up from the last live, so you can only imagine the chaos that's going on around me. All right, so I'm going to use the Harvest Flourish stencil. I love this stencil. It's called Harvest Flourish. Has nothing to do with autumn. It just has it's a beautiful flourish pattern that can be used anytime. So I'm going to just put that right on top there. Okay. And then I'm going to tape that down with a little bit of washi tape. Just going to put a little piece on that side and a little piece on that side, just so it doesn't move around. Now I'm going to do this in okay, I'll keep doing the 5-minute videos. Thank you guys for all those nice comments. I will keep doing them. I'm glad you like them. Please keep doing them. Wait, why don't you get Facebook notifications for them? You should. I think you have to sign up by hitting that little notification bell, and then they should notify you. I'm not sure if they're not, why that would be. That would be very strange, but I'm not saying that they're not. I just don't understand why they wouldn't. Although some people are saying that they're having a little bit of trouble with notifications. So I'm just going to clean this blending brush a little bit. So I have two options here. I could go with Sandy Beach, which is very, very light. I can do a little test on this color to show you. So Sandy Beach is a very, very light. These are the ink stand trays, and I like them because they keep the ink pad steady, and I have a free hand. Plus, I'm not holding the ink pad, and so I'm not getting ink all over me. So this is Sandy Beach right there. Let me get my paper towel. And then this is Craft. So I want you to look at Craft too. Craft is a little darker. So which one do you like better for this? Maybe we should do Craft and Sandy Beach, do a nice mix of them. We'll do our first layer in Craft and then add some Sandy Beach on top. Because remember, everything's going to lighten up a little bit once it's done. And I definitely want to be able to see it when it's done. So it should lighten up to the color of the lid. So, okay, I'm seeing a little more Craft than Sandy Beach. So let's go with Craft. Maybe it'll look nice too, because you'll get a nice, it'll be very starkly different from the white lines that we're going to see. Okay, so I'm going to move this over and get this right on my tabletop here. So I'm going to take the little clip off. I'm going to ink up my brush with Sandy Beach, and then I'm going to lightly stencil all over this design. I think once this dries, we'll definitely see that this might have been the better choice. When I saw them side by side, sometimes you have to look at stuff side by side to really decide which color you want. And you have to see it inked. Oh, I had some crazy dreams last night. I had this never-ending shopping mall experience in my dream last night. Like I could not get out of the mall. I was just walking around. There were no craft stores, so there was nothing that I wanted. And I was just walking around this mall. Now you can see that the lines are getting really dark on the Masking Magic under there, but they're leaving, so they're not going to be there for long. Okay. All right, so now I think we've got a good basis. Okay. Now it looks like a hot mess, I know. Now, you're not going to be able to see these lines very clear if I pulled the Masking Magic off now. What we want to do is we want to fill in all the white space, but we don't want to lose our design. This is the craft ink. I went with the craft ink. So now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to reload this brush, but I am going to go all over the surface of it, just adding color. And if I have to reload the brush, I'll reload it, but then I'm going to brush most of it off. So if I have to reload it, I'll get my paper towel and I'll just brush some of that off so that it stays nice and light. Because you can use like all the ink off of this thing, even though it's still stained. It doesn't look like much now, but just wait. And I think this is a really elegant background for, I don't know, like a wedding card or an anniversary card, maybe a Valentine's Day card. You could do this in reds and pinks. It would just be beautiful. I am brushing this off each time. But this just makes the whole thing more subtle. It's not that bright design. And now you're going to really notice, now you're going to really notice the white lines. It's going to be a little dark there. Maybe I'll darken it up around the outside a bit. Since I messed up, we'll just go with the mess up plan. Okay. All right. Ready for the reveal? This is the fun part. Okay. So I don't even know what side I started on, but I'm going to just start pulling things off here. Here we go. Now, what I was talking about is you could take a piece of acetate like this, and you can take them off a little more carefully than I just did. There'll be some casualties along the way. This one might be a casualty, but you can definitely keep this part of it. And you can just stick them on there and reuse them. Washi tape, you definitely can't do that with. It just doesn't work. This kind of brings to mind ceramic tile too. So depending on what pictures, like a cool backsplash, you know. So depending on what stencils you use and what colors you use, you can get some really cool looks out of this. And it almost has a little bit of a Victorian feel to it. I'm not worrying about saving these right now. I'll go back and I'm going to actually make a card today. I'm really jazzed too about white and craft together. I used to think I always had to use ivory with it, but the white really, really looks pretty. You see how pretty that's looking? It gets so much softer when you pull these off, the whole design. Ooh, it's like spaghetti. Now, using the washi tape is faster, but I've actually had some tearing now and then, and you know, we don't want to tear anything. So, the Masking Magic definitely is a much more fun way to do it. Isn't that pretty? I love that. And I think that if you didn't do that little bit of inking on the background, you wouldn't see those white lines. Okay, so let's keep this and we'll put this aside for now. We don't want to ruin this. And now I'm going to grab my die cutting machine and we're going to cut a few die pieces that we can stencil on here. So the Fluttering Fall bundle is a really cute little bundle with butterfly stamps. It's got butterfly stamps and it's got some cool little flowers and some leaves. So let's cut 2 flowers. I don't know if we'll use them all, but we're going to cut 2 flowers. We're going to cut 2 leaves like this. We'll cut one of these. This is a little design I'll show you in just a minute. We'll cut 2 of these leaves and then we'll pick a butterfly. And I think the butterfly that I want to use for this is this one here. This, can you see that? Let's get something up against it here. This one right here. I think that will be a pretty one to use. So that one is this one. So I'm just going to cut these pieces all at one time on my Spellbinders machine. And I like to cut the pieces out first and then stencil them. And the reason is because it's so much easier to center the stencil than it is to center the die. And I'll show you how I do it. And it goes a lot faster. So again, you know, you don't have any mojo one day, just cut a bunch of pieces and pile them up in your drawer. And then when you want to make some cute little butterflies and flowers, you just grab and stencil. All right. So those are the pieces I'm going to use for my card. I am going to cut out one more thing. I'm going to cut out the word love. Okay. So let's start with the butterfly. We'll make this guy first. So I'm going to just put a tiny little bit of the Gina K Designs dot adhesive on there, and I'm going to put the butterfly down. And then the butterfly is 3 different parts. You've got the body, and we're going to stencil the body first, but you see how nice that is to be able to line it up? So, and I can just hold it here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some sweet corn ink to start. Move these parts away. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. You always give a thumbs up. I appreciate that so much. That really does help my channel. When you guys subscribe, it really helps. And I think only like 29% of the people that watch my videos actually subscribe to the channel. Isn't that something? So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would really be helpful. All right, so I'm going to start with a little sweet corn ink. And I'm just going to stencil this butterfly in with some sweet corn.
Were the Masking Magic strips 1/8 inch?
They were 1/8 inch. Yep. Okay. So now you can see I've got that pretty little butterfly. Now I'm going to keep that stencil on there because I'm going to add a little bit of sweet mango onto that. And I'm going to use one of the tinier blending brushes for this. I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to come in just from the side here. Just hitting around the edge. Just to give it that little bit of color. Come down into the V. And up into that V. So there we go. That gives that butterfly a little depth. Let me zoom in just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now I want to add some spots on the butterfly. So I'm going to need the second stencil, and I'll lay that right on top. And again, I'm going to use a small blending brush and a little bit of craft ink. So I want this to be really, really soft. Tom, if you see any questions, make sure you let me know too, because I can't look up as much when I'm stenciling. Okay, so a little craft ink on here. Just line it up. I'm going to start a little heavier in the center and then work my way out. And you want to make sure that you just sink that down into those little dots. Okay. Let's take a look at how that looks. Oh, pretty, right? So pretty. You want the measurements for the card? The measurements for the card, well, the card that I did with the lattice was 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so now for this one, I'm going to use black onyx. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to use charcoal brown because I want this to be all like just soft, warm tones. It's my little cozy butterfly. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use that same brown brush. Get in there real well.
Can the re-inker be used to load up the brush?
Well, it can. It just will be a little extra wet. So you might want to put that re-inker like on a sponge or something, a little bit on a sponge, something like that, just to have something to grab it off of. All right, so we've got the butterfly. That butterfly is done. And I think that's going to look really pretty with my lattice background, just having that little bit of craft in there. Okay, so now we're going to do a couple of quick flowers. So I'll make these flowers match each other. It'll be a little tricky. I just have to turn the stencil a few times. We'll do the flowers first. And we're going to do those in sweet mango, tomato soup, and that dark chocolate color, chocolate brown. Okay.
So Cynthia wants to know, does it hurt masking magic if it freezes? I guess her furnace finally
No,
went
it
out.
won't hurt it at all. Okay, so there we go. There's my first color. And I'm not even going to reload my brush. I think, well, I better. I was so confident about saying that, and then I immediately reneged and had to rethink that whole thing. Okay. All right, let's get this one on here. Just line it up. Do the sweet mango. I really like when it's like lighter in the center, a little heavier on the edges. Okay, there's one. See how much easier this is to do this and not have to cut it out later? All right, this. There we go. Same thing. I'm going to do both of my flowers the same. Plenty of sweet mango left on that brush. Okay, now we're going to switch to part 2. Which is this little design. I did, mark it off really nice so that I'd know where I'm supposed to go, and then didn't follow through on that. So, but they're easy to eyeball. So for this one, I'm going to use some tomato soup. I have that color here. Anybody getting hungry? And then just centering it just by eyeballing it with the tomato soup and this smaller blending brush. And I'm going to come in from the sides like this, like not starting right in the center, just bringing that in. Okay, keeping that still yellowy in the center. All right, same thing here, coming in from around the outside again. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to add a little bright spot in the center. I I think I'm going to grab this yellow brush here and just add some yellow right in there. Like that. Didn't even re-ink it. And then we're going to add some little dots. So we'll put these little dots right here, and we'll go with that charcoal brown. And I'm just using what was left on the brush. I think I'll use the smaller one for this one. Is it getting in there? I think it is. There we go. Okay, so there's my two little flowers, quick and easy. Yes, this is the Fluttering Fall Layering Stencil Bundle. Layering stencils are so easy and fun to use. And I think once again, this will be a nice bright mixture on my lattice background. I know I'm very close up. If you're watching on a big screen, this card is like 3 feet by 5 feet. There we go. Okay, so now let's do all of the greenery at one time. A little dot of adhesive just to hold these in place. These are the little single leaves. Okay. All right, so for the leaves, they're a little bit less fancy. So as far as the stenciling goes, let's see which one fits better. One definitely fits better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Jelly Bean to start. And then I'm going to finish them off with a little bit of fresh asparagus. So I'll contrast these two greens. I'll use the bigger blending brush for the Jelly Bean. Just get some light shading in there. Oh, that's so pretty just like it is. Might not even do the other. Yikes. Get down there. That's really pretty just like it is. Maybe I won't need the other color. Let's see. That's pretty. Let's see what a little fresh asparagus on there looks like. So maybe we'll add just a little down the center. It's dark. Oh, that helps. That brings it out a little bit. So just down the center, the dark.
How do you clean your brushes?
I just take my brushes, and I have a brush for every color family, and I just rub them onto a textured paper towel. That's the easiest way to clean them. All right, so we'll do this one next. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to use the Jelly Bean. And hold everything in place here. I'm going to use the Jelly Bean first. And then I'm going to get some fresh asparagus, and I'm just going to darken parts of this. Like around the outside. Just make them glow a little bit. See how that looks? Same with this one. Okay. Jelly Bean first. It's so easy to do this without having to cut later. You can cut later if you want, if you prefer to do it that way. But I just love how they're done. You know, they're all cut out and ready to go. Now this one I'm going to just do in craft because this is kind of a stick. So let's just do this one in craft and see how it looks. And this is like kind of a complicated design, so it's nice to not have to cut it afterwards. We'll just see what's on. No, let's do it with whatever is left on this dark chocolate or this charcoal brown. I really could use a little more charcoal brown on this one. So I've got my ink pad over here. I want that to be nice and dark, like a tree bark. There we go. Okay. So now I have all my little bits and pieces. Now I'm going to do one more little step for this card. Get these out of the way. Get all my pieces here.
I knew there'd be lettuce in here somewhere.
Did I say lettuce?
No.
Oh. What are you talking about over there?
It looks like lettuce.
Oh, this looks like lettuce?
Oh.
I got a little bit of brown on here, but that's all right. That's my bad. But it'll go under the flower, so you won't see it. Problem solved. Get these off of here. Okay, so now this all looks very pretty on here. But what we need to do is we need to ground it somehow. So we need something a little bit more white, not so much darkness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I thought I was going to do the lattice work with the score buddy, but I'm changing my mind and I think I'm going to cut an oval for it so I can put these things right on the oval. So let's cut an oval and let's cut the word love. Okay. Our next release is toward the end of this month coming up. We haven't set the date yet, but it's toward the end of the month. And I'm super excited about it. Really excited. Okay, I'm still here. Just got to grab some cardstock. I'm grabbing some charcoal brown cardstock because this seems to be the theme. And I haven't used this color in a while, so I needed a full sheet. I needed to cut a full sheet. I think this is charcoal brown. Well, if it isn't, this is the color we're going to use. I'm pretty sure it's close to charcoal brown. Is that gray? Should I use this brown instead? No, I'm going to stick with my gut. All right, so I also have some dies around here somewhere. Let me find them in my mess. Give me a second. So this is one of our this is our ruffled flowers layering bundle, and I'm going to use the word love from that. So I'm going to cut that out first with this brown piece. I don't think this is charcoal brown, guys. I think I have to use something different. I need a deeper brown or something. I could use black. I'm going to use black. I know you guys don't want me to use black because I use black all the time, but would it be a Gina K card if I didn't use black? I feel like I need the black. So I'm going to cut this out in black. Everybody's screaming, no, use the brown, use the brown. But it's not a dark enough brown for me. I'm not sure where I got that. Rebecca, we have not retired any ink colors except one. And the reason we retired it is because we couldn't get the pigment anymore. There was something about the red pigment that all of a sudden they weren't allowed to sell it to the US anymore. So I don't know. It was our cranberry tart. So we did retire that color, but we've got some new colors coming. Just a little exciting thing happening. So there's that love die. Don't you love that love? Isn't that pretty? I love that. And I think it's gonna, I'm just looking at it off to the side here and you can really see it nicely. So I think it's a good choice. Okay. So let's cut a little circle. Yeah, let's cut a circle. So I'm going to use just this medium size single stitched circle die. And I'm only doing this to create a spot to ground these images. I just kind of want an area on my card. Let me show you what I mean. Let me grab this piece here. Everything's stuck. But some place where I can just ground all of these images. And then I'm going to cut we have the matching double stitched circle, and I'm going to cut that out in white. I'm going to layer this all together. We don't sell that die separately. That's part of that bundle. It all kind of coordinates with the words from that bundle. It all goes together. And did you know that our bundles can be used together? So you can mix and match the flowers with the butterflies and the different leaf shapes with the other flowers. So they're really, really nice. And they're greatly reduced in price when you get them as a bundle. Okay. So now I have all my pieces here. Now I need a piece of black to go on the outside of this piece. So I'm going to cut that here to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. There we go. And now I'm going to assemble this card. So here is my card base. Got my pretty lattice background. I love that. I'm so excited about that. It's so pretty. Yeah, our kits and bundles are kind of ridiculous. They're really, really low priced. Part of the reason that we're able to do that is, unfortunately, we don't wholesale those to any stores, which allows us to actually pass on a wholesale price to you guys. And so you guys are getting the absolute best deal available. I did not cut this one very well, so I'm going to cut this again. Good enough. And then this whole thing is going to go onto the white card base. I like that. Now, you know, I'm going to just give myself a heart attack because the very last thing I'm going to do is stamp the greeting. What am I thinking? Okay. So let's get this out of the way. They all have a little sticky on the back. I'm really rethinking my steps here. Okay, so that's going to go right up there, and that's going to allow me to place my flowers. Let me just use my craft pick here to pick these up. So flower. Flower. Flutter by. And then we've got to do like a little vine coming out from up here. Some little leaves. And you can play with these and see exactly how you want it to look before you make your final commitment. I definitely like this kind of thing. And then this little brown stick can come out from like back here or even over here. Okay, so there's my little layout there. I can change it up a little bit if I want to go higher. I can do that. And then my butterfly can just go right here onto it. And that just grounds everything and keeps it kind of together. I can raise that up. And then I can put love right on here. And then I can stamp my little greeting, which is what I want to do. I have the stamp set that goes along with this Fluttering Fall bundle. And so I want to do you so much down here at the bottom. So love you so much. And you could also do love and prayers, which would be actually be a really nice sympathy card. So yeah, love Love you so much. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so before I put that together, let's get the greeting on there so we know we have room. Okay. You so much, right in the middle. Ooh, scary. And again, I think I told you guys this on one of my last videos, my last video probably, but in case you didn't see that one yet, get your greeting where you want it on the cardstock. And if you're not 100% sure that it is straight, what you can do is take a little piece of acetate off of a stamp set and just place it over the card where you want to stamp it. Then ink up that greeting, and you can take a peek at it to see if it's straight. Now see, I think it might be over this way a little too much. But let me see how it looks with the die cut piece. Yeah, see, I think I need to move it a little bit. So this is a helpful way for you to not make the commitment. And I know it's harder for you guys to see. It is stamped very, very light because it's stamped on acetate, so it's not a good solid image. But you can just clean that off. And if you want, you can put this over your entire card here so that everything stays in place. First, make sure your card is up where it needs to be. And then we can try it again by moving it over. Actually, that's really kind of nice because the acetate grabs it and holds it in place. So let's see how that looks. Because I kind of want it under the love, but the love kind of goes off this way a little bit. So, okay, I think that's it. I think that looks good. Yeah, didn't the ink level out really nicely? Okay, we can look at it one more time just to make sure it looks good and straight. Yes, that looks really good. So now I can take the acetate off and I can actually stamp it on my cardstock. When you go through this much work and you do a background, it is kind of nice to be able to preview it before you actually make the commitment. There we go. And then that love will be right there. Like that. What I really like about this love die is if you want to move it over a little bit, this is so flexible, you can move that up higher if you want. Just glue it down higher, if that makes sense. It's such a skinny little design. Okay, so let's glue it all together. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind. All right. These are kind of sticking right where I want them. I'm going to leave them there. And I'm going to add my circle right up in here and kind of center it. And before I commit and really press it down, let's make sure we have room for the love. And we do. So that's good. Move down a little bit. That's good. I just pressed these down with the tape that was already on them. And then I'll add a little more tape to this.
Is that a Misty mouse pad in your Misty?
It is. It's the Misty mouse pad. I love it. Really.
What is the purpose of that?
Well, you can clean it. So if you stamp on it and you get ink on it, you could just take your tidy towel and clean it right up. Plus, it's squishy. You can use it for ink blending. And then the other side is black like the regular pad. So if you're working with the wreath builder and you need to see just the black, you could just flip it over. Do this up here, like that. I think I wanted this here. Move this over here, like that. And I got to put that butterfly in there. So we can turn him a little bit on the side. I don't know if I'm going to use the branch. Still up in the air about the branch. You guys like the branch? I don't know if they do or not. Okay, so they're all down pretty well. The butterfly, I think, should be popped up. I think it would be nice to have a little dimension there, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some foam squares. I have the Gina K Designs foam squares here. I'm just going to put one right in the middle of that butterfly. You can actually kind of bend the wings up a little bit to make it look like it's flying a bit. Of course, when I mail this to one of you, it'll be flat, but then you can kind of poke it back up into shape. Let's see here. Is this where I want it? Move this butterfly right here. And then I'm going to slip this. Where do I want this? Do I even want that on there? Maybe not. Maybe that is enough. That's enough, I think. You know, another thing is, you don't forget, you can like trim these down. So if you don't want all of that, you can just have a tiny little bit of it just by cutting it. And then, you know, you can slip it underneath and it'll look really cute. You don't need to use that much of it if you want more of it. You can have it coming out down here somewhere. Do I need that? I don't know that I even need it. I don't think I need it. Okay, let's get the love on here. Now I'm going to use the Connect glue that I have in this little bottle, because this is a really skinny little design. So let's do that.
And the size of the card base again?
The card base is an A2 size card base, which measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I cut it so it's tent-fold. So my original piece was 11 inches long by 4 1/4 inches. And then I scored it at the 5 1/2 inch mark. Just putting these tiny little dots of glue. I love these little bottles. You can get the tiniest little bits of glue out of the bottle. And it's still going strong. No clogs, nothing. Okay. This is one delicate die, but it is absolutely one of my favorites. Move that up just a hair. And there we go. There's that finished card. Yeah, the little greenery is just enough here, right? And we can make the wings flap a little. And I love that you can still see, if I had done a whole oval, you really wouldn't get to see a lot of this lattice, but you can still see a lot of the lattice, which is what I like. And then this is a tent fold. All right. Yeah, they come in a 3-pack like this, these little bottles. They come in a 3-pack, and you can put paint in there. You can put re-inker in there. You can make your own alcohol inks by using dye re-inker and mixing a little bit of alcohol blending solution in there, or alcohol. Shake it all up, and you can do a lot of fun things. So, all right. So there is that finished card. So Tom, we've got to give this one away.
Yes, yes, yes.
Should I put some sequins on here? You know what's coming back in stock? I got the shipping notice, is our disco ball sequins. So maybe I'll add a couple of those while we're giving this away, because this is all I have left of my disco ball sequins. But I'll add a couple. Somebody should get a little sparkly something or other with this card. Put one here. I don't know. I don't know that I want to do sequins. I don't know. Sequins, yes. Sequins. Let me think about it. If I do the sequins, it'll show up in the picture. If I don't do the sequins, this is the way it's going to be. I'm not sure where to put them. I guess I could lay some out here. Put one there.
Oh, you got some requests for no sequins. sequins.
No sequins? Okay, so some people are agreeing with the no sequin look. That's pretty there, but I can't just do one sequin. Maybe I just do them up here in this area. I could put one on the butterfly for his head. Make that sparkle on his body. I feel like I can only fit 2 on here. Maybe one down here. What do you think? 3 sequins like that? No sequins. No. Everybody's yelling no. Okay, get out. Okay. There. Okay. No sequins. All right. So Tom. Oh, Tom's got the cowboy hat on. Cowboy Tom today. Thank you all very much. I'm so glad that you like this card. Some people like the sequins. Some people don't. I like the odd number, so I feel like there's not enough room. If I had thought about it ahead of time, I maybe would have laid it out a little bit differently. So we'll go with a plain no sequin look for this one. All right, Tom. So it's time to give this card away.
All right. One lucky winner today. Drum roll. All right, and the winner is Cassie Norvell.
Hey,
Norvell.
Cassie! Congratulations, Cassie! Woo! So, Cassie, all you have to do is send your name and your address to info@ginakdesigns.com. Tell them you won the layered butterfly lattice card, and I will get that right out to you. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to try to be back again this week with another 5-minute card video. And then next Monday, Tom and I will be back with another Stampin' Chat Live. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.